Hey, Mayor.
How's everyone doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. Before we get started, I gotta get my card. All right, let's see, one more. 1, 2, 3. We've got our little stars here.
Here you go.
Thank you. Lynn's future. You. Look excellent. Excellent. Always. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Dr. Five Badenberg, he's the best. He's doing the right thing. Everyone enjoys the weather. This guy, he's young, he got to do work today. So he can do everything.
He's real good.
All right. He was good?
Huh?
He's good.
Oh, human rights. Hmm?
You didn't tell us. I like that.
Mike. Open mic.
Okay.
Thank you. Feel better? Good. Miserable. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Good luck. Good luck.
Are we scrolling
To the abutter.
down?
Yeah, let's get back to the abutter.
Yes.
Good to go?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Public Property and Parks Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Present.
Present Counsel LaPierre?
Present.
Present Counsel Calucci?
Present.
Present Counsel Walsh? Absent Counsel Field?
Present.
Okay, thank you. We've got quite a packed agenda tonight. First, I'd like to welcome the mayor in attendance. Welcome, Mayor. We've also, I think, got our first post, I hope, COVID guests with us tonight. Carlos Penicio and Damiani Garrido, welcome. Who will be discussing our first item on the agenda, which is the PowerPoint presentation regarding the Black Lives Matter mural. And before I turn this over to Damiani and Carlos, I'd just like to address a couple of issues surrounding this. It's been widely reported and opined on and shared on social media that this body has held this issue up, has blocked it, and done things to keep it from coming to fruition. The facts of the matter are, regardless of what's been reported in the newspaper, what's been written about by a friend from D.C., what's been shared on social media, the first time any formal proposal was made to have this placed on the agenda of the Public Properties Committee was 2 weeks ago on April 13th. The other fact is, regardless of how many times things have been discussed in possible locations possible sizes, possible designs. No formal plan with details was ever presented to this body until 24 hours ago, right here. This was emailed to us approximately 24 hours ago. So all the reporting and false narrative and everything else that's gone on to blame members of this committee and this council are false. So I just wanted to get those facts out there so that our residents know that if somebody's talking about, we want to paint something in the street, that we're not going to say, oh, go to Home Depot, grab some paint, have at it, and hope you don't get hit by a car. We're responsible in this room. We follow process in this room. And that's what this meeting is about tonight. So with that being said, I wanted the residents of Lynn to know the facts. And those are the facts. Damiani and Carlos, you have your PowerPoint ready?
Yes.
This will be visible for all to see on TV. Okay. I just want to also say, these two young individuals, seniors at Lynn English High School, have put in so much time, not only in this effort, but many other community efforts in this city. When COVID hit, people didn't know what to do. Council President Sear started the food drive down Salvation Army. These two were there working tirelessly every day, every day. And I wish them nothing but the most success as they go off to college in the fall. From what I hear, they've got plenty of offers, so the choices are endless, and the sky's the limit. So take at it, guys.
Thank you, Councilor Starbuck.
Good afternoon. My name is Damiani. I am a senior at Lynn English High School, and I'm co-founder of One Lynn, One Love.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carlos. I'm also a senior at Lynn English High School, and I'm the other co-founder of One Lynn, One Love.
First, we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to present. It is an honor to receive your time and your patience. We also want to thank everyone who is watching from home. Why a Black Lives Matter mural, and why this location? This is a statement from the city of Lynn, expressing their solidarity to the Black community. This mural will unify us during all the tragedies that we have gone through, not only in the last year, but our whole lives. The mural being on Exit Street to City Hall Square would be in the middle of three institutions that have historically affected the lives of Black people. On March 30th, 2021, Lynn City Solicitor wrote a memo in response of the government speech doctrine, where it recited, recent judicial decisions suggest that the city of Lynn possesses discretion as set forward formally and adopts certain messaging and imageries upon public ways as a form of government support and speech without limiting its ability to deny future requests from members of the public.
So what? We are proposing a Black Lives Matter statement that shows, again, that the city of Lynn stands in solidarity with its Black community. 174 plus other communities around the nation have chosen to also express their support with their Black community through the medium of art. And that has happened by putting down a Black Lives Matter street mural. And the youth of Lynn and the members who support this want a Black Lives Matter street mural. So again, as said before, there are across the nation countless other communities who have put down a Black Lives Matter mural, keeping it local and bringing it back to Massachusetts. We have our neighbors down in Somerville. Very briefly, we were very heavily involved in this mural. Back in September, a young lady down in Somerville by the name of Leah, she reached out to us asking that she wanted to put down a Black Lives Matter mural. To be clear, Somerville has two Black Lives Matter murals. This one that you see in front of you and another, and I believe on the street behind. Leah lives on that street. So she reached out to us and she asked, how'd you guys do it? How did you get the Black Lives Matter mural? What paint did you use? How did you guys go about it? She was a little confused. She thought by reading the articles here in Lynn that we actually did the mural here. And we told her that we didn't, but we could still help her with facilitating what kind of paint she could use, what materials she needed to do it on her street. Then she referred us here to this group who did it on Nubian Square. And they cordially invited us to come and help out after hearing our story here. And we were very, very involved. So in the picture, it's myself, Damiani behind me, the artist X. Thank you. The artist X. Next to X is Mayor Joe. Next to Mayor Joe is another artist, the lead artist, Anthony. And then behind Anthony is a volunteer that we met there. Again, Springfield, their mural, very involved with their community. Roxbury, Lawrence, and then Worcester. And we wanted to highlight Worcester because we were in contact with Shay Anderson, who was also very involved in that mural. So he's been telling us about the logistics and how it goes, how they did it down in Worcester. We really want to highlight Worcester because it's very vibrant. As you can see, there are a lot of colors. It's very inclusive, and that's what we want here in Lynn, and that's what the youth have told us, that the mural were to happen here in Lynn. They want it to be vibrant. They want it to be inclusive. So Worcester is probably the greatest model to go after when designing the mural here in Lynn.
Are where? Exit Street and City Hall Square. Of course, this is as you can see, there's two murals, but they're facing different ways. So if you were standing here at the City Hall, you'll be able to read it. But if you were standing at the Boba Tea, you'll be reading it backwards. And if you were standing at the courthouse, you'll be able to read it. But if you were standing, let's say, on the other side of the street, you wouldn't be able to. So each mural is facing these two institutions. As you can see, they're also, it's a train effect. They're like overlapping each other. And yeah. And when? If given permission now, we will plan an installation for June of 2021, and this production will take 48 hours, hopefully on a weekend.
So the how in our design strategy that we've been advised to do, that we know works and is facilitating the mural the best, is that there's a lead artist on top. They are the designer, they are the engineer, they put down and design the actual mural, figure out all the measurements. Below them are local artists. They will be in charge of every word. So there will be 6 in total, and then there will be community groups below the local artists, so the local artists will be facilitating the community groups. The community groups will consist of volunteers that come together that show interest in wanting to help paint the mural. And we'll do that by obviously following any guidelines that we need to be safe. This is also my part. Our how, number 2, we've prepared a strategy plan. All counselors have received that strategy plan, and I believe there's a hard copy that everybody has also received in the room. Again, that covers the budget, the materials list, the production timeline, and an artist RFP. And then again, including that, referring back to the strategy plan, there is a budget, there are subtotals, there needs to be a way to reach that money, and that way is through commitments that we have with other organizations, but they need to follow that. We need government approval. So there's Eastern Bank, crowdfunding, Mass Cultural Council, Lynn Chamber of Commerce, there's our GoFundMe, there's Salem 5, there are multiple ways that we are thinking about achieving that goal.
And our how part 4. Please, city councilors, the youth need your help. On behalf of all of your supporters and our supporters, there are 17,000 Lynn Public School students, 20,000 YMCA families, plus Girls Inc., Boys and Girls Club, use your government doctorate speech. There are businesses and nonprofits who support us. Prevent the Cycle, Beyond Walls, North Shore Unteeth Association, Lynn Business Partnership, and many more. Our local and first supporters, like Ward 6 City Councilor Fred Hogan, Representative Seth Moulton, Senator Brenton Crichton, and members of the Lynn Police Department, including Deputy Chief Vale, encourage the use of government speech doctrine. And of course, if you have any questions, we are willing to answer anything. And for everybody who's home, this is our contact information, lynnyouthblm@gmail.com, and our Instagram is onelyn_onelove.
Thank you. And we're ready to receive your questions at any time, any counselors.
Okay, thank you, Damiani and Carlos. We'll open up questions to all counselors, including members of the committee. Are there any questions? Councilor Hogan?
I don't have any questions, but I do want to say a couple of things here. These kids have been fighting for this since over a year now, and they never stopped. They never gave up. They've took countless meetings with the mayor, with myself, with Council President Darren Sayre, and they just kept fighting. And I just want to say that's what Lynn's all about. And one thing I always thought is that, Lynn being the city of first, we should always step forward and be in the first in one of these things here. And I'm happy that it's in front of the Public Properties Commission now, and this is going to get done, and it's going to be big for the city of Lynn. And I'm just proud of you two, and I'm proud of for what you stand for, and just keep on fighting. And you're going to be amazing one day in this city, and you're going to keep doing amazing things. So keep it up. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hogan. I'd just like to add to that, I don't think anybody's put the amount of time into meeting with these folks as Councilor Hogan, Council President Sayre. I know the mayor's met with them as well, but I know that Councilor Hogan, Councilor Sayre has put multiple hours into this this discussion. So are there any other questions? Councilor Field.
I don't have any questions, but again, like Councilor Hogan and Councilor Starbird, I want to commend the two of you for the hard work that you've put in. You brought a national tragedy home to all of us here in Lynn, and you should be proud of what you've done and the work you're continuing to do. I also want to acknowledge our own solicitor's office for the work that they've done, Attorney Markopoulos, for the research, for everyone the associate solicitors have done to get the language correct for us to move forward with this. The government speech doctrine, it didn't just happen overnight. And there was some back and forth between your attorney and Attorney Markopoulos and the solicitor's office, so I do want to commend them for the hard work that they do for us each day, too. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Field. Councilor Lapierre.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. I don't have a question per se, but a comment, and reflecting on the presentation that these two fine youth have just presented before us. I'm very supportive of the initiative. I want to thank Councilor Starbird for his comments initially, because in reality, many of us on this committee have not seen this presentation until now. It's very helpful to be able to see it visually. And I would just emphasize that where it goes upon the council review and the full council for a vote to erect this mural, that we keep in the spirit of making sure that this is a collaborative, a partnership between the city. I echo Councilor Field's sentiments. There are a lot of entities and moving parts in the city. ISD will come to mind, DPW, the lawyer's office. There are a lot of moving parts. And for this to be successful, it's very important that we're all on the same page, and that it's very consistently done and done by every letter of the law and reflective in a beautiful mural at the end of all of this. So I would like to, I know we're in the discussion phase, but I will put forth a motion that these folks or a representative of their mural do check back with this subcommittee in 180 days. I just offer that out as a starting point so that we can have some eyes on the ground as we go forward. Whether it's 90 or 180 days, I haven't really thought much about it, but I think we want to be involved in the process as we legislate it, but also going forward, how this is going to roll out, and there may be some considerations that we have to mitigate. Thank you.
we definitely want the administration involved in the further, as we go further. And we've always wanted that since the beginning.
Thank you, Dami and colleagues.
Councilor Chakutis, who is not on this committee, but she is the ward councilor. Councilor Chakutis?
Just want to say thank you guys for coming in and doing the presentation tonight. I did sit down with them last week, and we went over a few things. There's still some obstacles they have to go through. We don't know, we have some construction going on down there, so we do have to find out if the street's being dug up, what's going to happen. There are going to probably need some repairs on the street before they can even do it. So we are working with them on this. And I wish you the best of luck, and I would like to know if this committee would please consider to vote yes on putting the Black Lives mural down on Essex Street. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Councilor
Diana.
Chakutis.
Thank you, Councilor Chakutis.
If I could just ask a question, guys, because it wasn't asked, I thought it would be. What is the timeline? And how long are you proposing that this stay down?
So would you like the timeline of from now to when it's set, and then?
Once it's down, how long do you anticipate it staying down?
Yes, so the specific paint that's being used, we can expect it to fade about 3 months in, but the outline, so Black Lives Matter, the outline of the lettering should start fading maybe 6 months to a year after that.
Okay, thank you. And in the communities that you were involved with, Somerville and all that had it down during the winter months, was there any impact caused by plows or anything plowing snow?
I don't believe, I'm sorry, I believe there was impact with plowing, that it was just that the paint was obviously fading. But yes, with salt and the plowing and the weather, there was fading. And it happens quicker.
Okay, and you don't anticipate any of those costs for any potential damage caused by plows, salt, and all to fall on the city?
We do not.
Thank you, guys. Are there any further questions? What is the wish of the committee? I'm sorry. Here's a question from the floor. Certificate of insurance to be approved by the law department.
Yes.
Will that be a component of the,
Yes, that's it. It's in the budget, and it is a component. It is put in the
Okay.
insurance.
and will this, we need to have the city named as an additional insured on that?
Yes, we'll put the city.
Okay. And as it does fade after a period of time, do we have a date that it'll be removed rather than fall into just repair and being, faded out in parts? Or
So in discussion, that has been a common question. When it fades, will it be repaired? Will it be removed? I think that I know that we've just decided, not just decided, but we've been talking for the past week, and after approximately 6 months, with council approval and raising the appropriate funds, like Lawrence and Roxbury will do, is that they will renovate the mural. Again, that is with city approval, and that's what we're proposing, but that's not set in stone.
Okay. I think moving forward, if there is a motion to move this to the council for a vote, we should probably have a timeline from completion of the mural to the time in which we expect it to be removed or to move forward. But I think that's, if the wish is there to move this to the full committee tonight, that be a component of the motion.
Yeah, I'd entertain a motion to approve and send this to the council as a whole for approval of the Black Lives Matter mural, with the stipulation of this group, representative thereof, to report back. I was saying 180 days. I would make that an emotion form in the first Tuesday in November. Gives us about 6 months to check back in with the committee and see where we're at as the mural is now on the surface, and then we can revisit options in November. But that gives us 6 months before they can come back and review in front of this body. And I make that form of motion.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made, seconded by Council Field. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh absent. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much, guys. Sure we'll be seeing quite a bit.
To see you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
while you
Congratulations.
disconnect, if you don't mind, we'll keep moving along with our agenda. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Order that the City Council authorize the mayor to execute a confirmatory release deed for real property known as and located at 9 Oak Street, Lynn, Massachusetts. The purpose of this confirmatory release deed is to correct and confirm a prior release deed for the above-described property dated June 8, 2020, and recorded on June 18, 2020, with the Essex South County Registry of Deeds at Book 38626, page 57, which incorrectly referred to the grantee as the estate of Richard W. and Mary F. Schmeltz. The correct grantee is Ann Kurth, personal representative of the estate of Richard Schmeltz, Essex Probate Docket Number 19P 2359. Further ordered that the mayor be authorized to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the purpose of this confirmatory deed release and any other documents required by the law department to effectuate the above referenced license.
Thank you. Attorney Lamanna, would you like to add commentary to this?
Part of the Washington Street widening program over by North Shore Community College. You folks had voted on this last Tuesday. There were some design changes between that date, or 2 weeks ago, between 2 weeks ago and now, so this will reflect the final plans as they'll look on the ground when the project's done.
Thank you, Attorney Lamanna. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh absent. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, item number 3 is in the same realm. Madam Clerk?
Order that the City Council authorize the mayor to execute a license agreement revised by and between the Commonwealth of Mass, acting by and through its Division of Capital Asset Management and Maintenance, in collaboration with North Shore Community College and the City of Lynn, which will facilitate the acceptance of grant of easement from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Said license will facilitate the following: licensee and/or licensee officers, agents, representative contractors, subcontractors, employees, invitees, and any other person claiming by or through the licensee may enter upon the licensed premises Lower Washington Street under this license for the following uses only and for no other purpose or use whatsoever. The licensed premises are licensed to licensee for the purpose of widening Lower Washington Street to permit the permanent addition of 44 angle parking spaces in accordance with the plan attached to the acceptance of the grant of easement as Exhibit A. Licensee and/or licensee's parties may pass, repass, and occupy the licensed premises and conduct construction-related activities within the licensed premises insomuch as they further the purpose of this license. Such construction-related activities include but are not limited to digging, excavating, flattening the earth, the installation of temporary plastic or aluminum fencing, pole bases, lighting conduits, manholes, piping, and catch basins on or around the licensed premises, and the installation of new curbs and sidewalks, in addition to the reinstallation, replacement, or repair of existing fences, landscaping, irrigation, and restoration of disturbed areas. All work will be accomplished in compliance with the applicable local, state, and federal regulations. All work of the licensed premises is to support or otherwise further the type of work described in Section 1 of Chapter 304 of the Acts of 2020. Further order that the mayor be authorized to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the purpose of this revised license and any other documents required by the law department to effectuate the above referenced revised license.
What is the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded, thirded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh, absent Counsel Field.
Yes.
Item number 4, Madam Clerk.
Order that the City Council authorize the mayor to execute the acceptance of grant of easement revised from the Commonwealth of Mass. Said acceptance will facilitate the following: Commonwealth of Mass, the Commonwealth acting by and through its Division of Capital Asset Management and Maintenance, having an address of 1 Ashburton Place, Boston, Mass., in consultation with the North Shore Community College, having an address of 1 Ferncroft Road, Danvers, Mass., and pursuant to the authority set forth in Chapter 304 of the Acts of 2020, in consideration of $25,000 and other good and valuable consideration described herein, grants to the City of Lynn a municipal corporation having the address of 3 City Hall Square, Lynn, Mass. Without covenants, a non-exclusive easement, revised, under, over, and in through the easement area described within, herein, on a certain parcel of land in the City of Lynn, more accurately described in a deed recorded with the Southern Essex District Registry of Deeds at Book 13, 743, page 139. Subject to the purposes described in Section 1 of Chapter 304 of the Acts of 2020, the purpose of this grant of easement revised is for roadway and other necessary purposes to carry out the widening and installation of angled parking on Washington Street, along with other improvements by the City of Lynn within the easement area. This grant of easement revised shall include the right to create, maintain, repair, and replace Washington Street by widening it and including both sidewalk and parking in the easement area, install, maintain, repair, and replace utilities in the easement area, and use the easement area for public uses customary to a public way. Order that the mayor be authorized to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the purpose of this acceptance of grant of easement revised, and all other documents required by the law department to effectuate the above referenced acceptance of said grant of easement revised.
Thank you. Again, Attorney Lamanna, this is just a slight revision to what was voted on and approved on the 13th? Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion been made, seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh, absent Counsel Field.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, number 5, discussion regarding the proposed RFP for the former third grade Marshall Middle School. Was included in your packs. Any questions? Attorney Lamanna?
Hopefully the third time will be the charm for the RFP. So this is for a review to have as many eyeballs on it as possible. I do want to stress that any sale of this property is subject specifically with the approval of the school committee, but the Public Property Committee wish to get bids and to have a full vetting of the process with bids in hand. Not locked into a 60-day closing, and no purchase price is set in stone.
Thank you, Attorney Lamanna. Let's hope. This time's the charm. What is the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh, absent Counsel Field.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, number 6, discussion regarding the proposed RFP for the Lynn Senior Center. Again, it was included in your packets. Attorney Lamanna, would you like to add any commentary to that?
Hopefully the second time will be the charm on this. This will also be subject to Lynn Council on Aging approval, which is on the agenda tomorrow. It is a 10-year lease, and that was based on feedback from some interested parties that a 5-year lease with a commitment with the build-out didn't work for them. But the same criteria, but close to a transportation center. And again, we're looking at this to go out in mid-May, give you guys in the council, men and women, time to digest it, and appropriate parties in the Council on Aging, Mass Senior Action, Mayor's Office, ISD, the Planning Department, to get back feedback on the rough draft.
With a hope that maybe something can begin in the fall?
September date, tentatively, and that'll obviously be contingent upon the Health Department and when the city's comfortable having seniors congregate together in a senior center setting.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Attorney Lamanna. What's the wish of the committee?
Second.
Motion been made, seconded.
If I could add, Chris Gomez is the newly appointed senior director
hi,
that's
Chris.
in the audience today, and he'll certainly be a big part of this whole process.
Chris, welcome. We all look forward to working with you. Congratulations. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh absent, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, other business. Councilor Calucci.
Could we put out to bid 8 Pinkham Place for abutters only, landscaping and parking?
In the form of a motion?
Yes.
Motion by Councilor Calucci is to put out a vacant lot that had a burned-out building on it, very small, at 8 Pinkham Place. It's a congested neighborhood as it is, and I think that Councilor Calucci's thoughts are a good one for the neighborhood, to put that out for abutters to use for parking and landscaping.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counsel Staben?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh absent, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made, seconded.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Right here.
I will get rid of them. Kids who's just coming from the news. Good. I get licensing next, so I can help yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Well, that's gonna be, quickly installed. That's a good thing.
I was looking at.
Nice. Waiting for Lisa.
You're asking me?
All right. Huh? Good, how are you? How'd your mother end up over here? How'd your mother end up over here? Oh, it is, I get it.
Where are your pictures?
In town with.
Huh?
I'm just waiting for Lisa and Eric.
I'm gonna make the other.
Always a big part with the litter and cleanups within the city. Lisa's on her way coming from another meeting.
I think it might be June. Does it need?
Lisa, I told him we weren't starting without you, because you're the biggest asset to our city. Litter. Good evening, everyone. Our litter trash subcommittee meeting for Tuesday, April 27th. Roll call, please.
Counsel Field?
Present.
Present Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present Mr. Donovan? Present Ms. Nerick? Present Mr. Stillian? Present Attorney Lamanna?
Present.
Present, and Mr. Nicholson?
I'm joined with my co-chair on the litter committee, Councilor Chakutis from Ward 5. Welcome back to an important committee that we created just over a year ago to address the problem that we have in the city of litter. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone, all the complaints that we've received. I know my colleagues on a daily basis receive complaints from everyone about the condition of the city and how it looks. We do need to be more aggressive. We do need to be more responsible. That started 2 years ago on Earth Day when we all went into the second grade classroom to educate children and include them and create a poster. That poster was designed by Ms. Perry from the Community Development Office. The kids created those. We voted on those. We acknowledged those kids. We just haven't gotten those posters out because COVID hit us last year right at this time. So now that, and we didn't want to put too much pressure on the businesses at that time, but I think now is the time to really kick off a full campaign against the problems that we have within the city about littering. We started that 2 weeks ago by increasing the fines from $50 to $100 with an option of community service if those fines too harsh on people financially. The posters, again, we're going to be asking the business community to display these posters created by our second graders, now fourth graders, in their windows, reminding people and encouraging people to keep Lynn clean. I want to acknowledge Mrs. Nerick, who's a committee member, for her hard work, and Obed for creating our posters and signs. We'll be putting signage around the city, Spanish and in English, reminding people to keep the city clean, and the ordinance of imposed fines when able. Parks will be displayed, posters will be, signs will be displayed at the parks as well, like you see the current ones about masks. I think we need to get more aggressive. I think we all agree on that. It's not one person. It's not one department. It's not just government. It's going to take business. It's going to take everyone within the city to be vigilant, keep our city clean, know that it's just a quality of life issue for everyone. I spoke to Deputy Chief Desmaris, now the acting chief here in the city. He's with us now. We've discussed options for enforcement and the challenges for the police department to enforce such crimes. Chief, did you want to say anything, add to that? Thank you. You want to? Thank you. That way the folks at home will hear. Thanks, Chief.
No, I'm just here at your invitation to support your efforts, Counselor.
Thank you, Chief.
All right,
Thank you. Again, we understand there's challenges for enforcement. It is a law. We do expect people to follow the law, and it's really, it's time. I'll ask businesses to reach out to our council office if you would like to display signs. We have just about 2,000 signs to be displayed citywide. as we kick off our campaign, you can reach out to the council office. Our office will reach out to Councilor Shakutis and I and our colleagues in each ward to have these signs displayed in your businesses. We do appreciate the help. Also, like to invite Mr. Bertino, City CFO, for a quick presentation as far as what we have planned. Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. Mike Bertino, City of Lynn CFO. I've heard it almost since I've been with the city, but that people's concerns, councilors' concerns about litter in the city. So we've identified some non-taxpayer money that we can put towards the purchase of a small to mid-sized piece of equipment that would help supplement the existing process we have where the street sweepers go around the city. It's our hope that we can establish a pilot program very soon that would, go alternative days and remove litter from designated areas in the downtown area and other areas of the city that wouldn't be as disruptive as, a full-size street sweeper coming down the street, but would be able to get those areas where the wind may have blew trash collected in a fence corner or underneath a bench. So kind of a supplemental approach to supporting the street sweeping along with the campaign that the council's talking about and just a general awareness that it takes everybody to tackle this problem. We're looking at a couple of, like I said, different pieces of equipment, and hopefully if the campaign and a combination of a pilot program outside of the original street sweeping program, we should be able to tackle this together.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Bertino? Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. As Mike mentioned, it's a pilot program that we're going to establish collectively working with the mayor's office to get this piece of equipment purchased for the city and support the business community and the residents in the downtown area and all throughout the city to improve their quality of life and quality of life overall within the city. As we kick off this campaign, do anyone else on the committee wish to say anything? Mr. Nicholson?
Thank you, Councilor Field. Thank you for convening this committee and for everybody who's been working on it. Would absolutely agree with the thoughts that have been put forward tonight about the importance of this and the process. And I believe one of the reasons that the council invited someone from the school committee to join this committee is the general idea that prevention is a big part of the overall strategy of trying to help people understand why it's important to find the right receptacles to solve this problem, to be part of solving this problem on behalf of the city. And I would just, the sign campaign that we did in the schools a couple years ago, I think was very successful, very well received, and a lot of fun for those of us who were able to participate. And I just wanted to add that as we move forward, one of the developments recently with Lynn Public Schools is in thinking about student engagement and student involvement and student voice. The Lynn Public Schools has set up more of a mechanism to have students, particularly in the secondary schools, involved in giving input to decisions and being part of the civic fabric of the city. And so this might be a good issue for us to bring to that team. Each of the secondary schools has what Dr. Tutwiler has termed an inclusivity panel with students that are representing their schools and talking about important issues for their school community. And just as we facilitate the conversations between the city and the school department about these kind of important issues, I think they're evolving into something that's offering more of a voice on questions of public importance, and so might be a good topic to bring to that group.
Excellent. Thank you, Thank you, Attorney Nicholson.
Thank you.
Great. Anyone else like to share anything? No. I know there's a lot of cleanups going on. A lot of those cleanups are organized through the DPW and some private groups. I also just ask that you reach out to your ward counselor so that we can combine our efforts. Reach out to your ward council. They may already have something already scheduled so that we're not having conflicting dates. But it's going to take everyone. It's not one person. It's not one committee. It's going to take everybody's effort. You see litter, pick it up. All right. Thank you. Councilor Stabbard. Absolutely.
Just to kind of piggyback off what you said, Councilor Fields, with the park cleanups on Thursday, May 5th, at Keeney Park at 5:30, which is kind of an unconventional time to do a cleanup, but the Razorbacks Football League is going to be helping out. They play on Saturdays, so they asked if we could do it on a Thursday evening, so we are. If anybody's available on the 5th at 5:30, come on down to Keeney. And again, on Saturday, the 8th at 10 a.m. at Cook Street Park. We're going to need a lot of help there, because not only are we trying to do a cleanup, we're trying to rebuild some of the garden planters there. You have some cordless tools you want to bring with you. Rakes, shovels, we'll get most of that from DPW, but again, Saturday the 8th, come on down, hope to see you. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Councilor Stabbard. Councilor Hogan, do you want to share yours?
Also on May 1st, at the old St. Michael's Hall, you can come on down. We're going to do the whole neighborhood in Ward 6, me and Council President Sayre, so you can come on down and join in that. And there's going to be multiple cleanups throughout Ward 6 coming up. I am going to be teaming up with Youth Build, and they're going to team up with me, and we're going to do a lot of cleanups in Ward 6, so stay tuned for those, and those will be announced coming up in a short couple of weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hogan. Anyone else want to share a plug for their ward? Or no. Again, it goes without saying, there's several complaints that we see lately, and we hear them, and we're just as disappointed at how the city looks. And it's not just exclusive to Lynn. It's everywhere, and there's no one solution. There's no one group that's going to solve this for the problems that we do have. I know the areas along Boston Street with the constant phone calls I get from the Cemetery Commission and downtown areas. So, let's put our best foot forward as we move into the warmer months and keep Lynn clean. Thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Good. Yep.
Roll call?
Counsel Field?
Present.
Present Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Present Counsel Lozey? Absent. Counsel Net? Present. And Counsel Walsh?
Believe it or not, present.
Present. Okay, we have all renewals.
We'll take them as a whole if we can.
Take them as a whole. Motion to take them as a whole.
Motion to take them as a whole. Second. We'll take them as a whole. What is the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carries. Any new other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
got, we missing a couple people. We got Buzzy's here. I don't have to read these in committee, but just.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the subcommittee, welcome to the Ways and Means Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, could you please roll call?
Counsel Net?
Present.
Present Counsel Staubed? Present. Present Counsel Barton?
Present.
Present Counsel Chakutis? Present Counsel Seer? Absent.
Madam Clerk, could you please read the transfer?
Okay. Transfer $1,348.20 from the council expense to the account of prior year bills to fund invoices received after the close of fiscal year.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staubed? Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Seer? Absent. Certifies an available fund $18,745,330 to the school department for the FY21 FC 115 ESSER 2 Lynn grant.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staubed? Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Seer, absent. Certifies an available fund $1,495,100 to the City of Lynn by Transportation Bond Bill Chapter 90 for FY22.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Seer absent. Certifies an available fund $225,362 to the Lynn Health Division for COVID-19 vaccination support in priority communities.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Seer absent. Certifies an available fund $25,995 to the Fire Department for the FY21 Firefighter Safety Equipment Grant. Sorry, Darren. I got you.
What's the wish committee? Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Seer. Gone?
Absent, yes.
Certifies an available fund $70,644 for the FY21 FC 181 Gateway City School Year Grant.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Seer.
Is
See him, yes.
the emergency?
If we can, please, due to the fact that the end of the fiscal year is fastly approaching, and we have to spend a lot of this money by 6:30.
Okay. Roll call for emergency, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Staben? Yes, Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes, Counsel Seer. Yes. We have orders laid over from the last meeting, but I'll read them in council.
You got, okay. Read the council, okay. Thank you
And
so
there's
much.
No new business.
Any new businesses? What did you, okay. All right, thank you, Chair.
Magic Mike.
Rookies after. The rookies after.
Watch it.
We're just, we're trying to make sure you're. Us young guys, Yeah, that's about right.
Anybody under 50?
Yeah,
Ozzy wants to sit away. I didn't know you golfed. I didn't know you golfed.
All rise. I'm sorry, roll call. Whoa.
Counsel Barton? Counsel Chakutis? Present Counsel Calucci?
Present.
Present Counsel Field?
Present.
Present Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Present Counsel LaPierre?
Present.
Present Counsel Lozey? Present Counsel Net? Present Counsel Stabbed? Present Counsel Walsh?
Present.
Present Counsel Seer?
Present, all rise for a moment of silence. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Communications,
We have no communications.
public hearings,
We have no public hearings.
public hearings to be set now.
We have 41 Sutton Street, sign permit for Chow Restaurant. 43 State Street, a sign permit for Stop in Campari Supermarket. And 877 Western Ave, Juan Perilla's Bar and Grill to expand seating area into the vacant space next door.
It's the wish of the council.
Let him down.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion, roll call.
Counsel Barton? Yes. Counsel Chakutis? Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey? Counsel Lozey? Absent. Counsel Net? Yes. Counsel Stabbed? Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes. Committee reports. Public Properties and Parks, Councilor Staben.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had a packed agenda. The first item was presentation by Damiani Garrido and Carlos Fernancio on the Black Lives Matter mural. Did a PowerPoint presentation. It was also televised. There was a unanimous vote of the committee to move it forward to the full council for a vote.
Is that vote to allow them to put the mural on the street, Councilor?
Yes. Motion to approve.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded. Any discussion? Councilor Staben.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to thank Damiani and Carlos for coming before us tonight. I think our first COVID visitors that we've had here. This has been something that the council president, Councilor Hogan, has put countless time into in meeting with these two individuals and their committee. I've had discussions with them as well. I have, on numerous occasions, voiced my concerns and my opposition regarding the site and where it was to be located. In front of the courthouse, I think we should all view the courthouse as a place where justice is blind. And I thought that perhaps there were better locations. I walked out of my front door tonight with the anticipation that I was going to vote in opposition of this, as I think would have been no surprise to these two sitting here tonight and their group of proponents. I think that over the course of the past year, we've seen a lot of divisiveness in the city probably more so than in my 57 years of living in Lynn. I'm hoping that this will help bring folks together rather than push us apart. And because of that, and thinking of that, and listening to these two young people tonight, knowing how driven they are, knowing how much, besides this effort, that they've put into and done for the community, I think that the whole community should be proud of them. And again, I hope that this is a coming together more than a pushing apart. There was some stipulations that were made regarding time, naming the city as an insured on the policy, working out the logistics with DPW and the Lynn Police, all of which they said that they can comply with. Again, as I said during the meeting tonight, I have my issues with how some of this was reported out. And I would like to say once again that at no time prior to April 13th was any request made to come before the City Council as an agenda item. And at no time prior to approximately 24 hours ago was any formal presentation made with the details of what they were looking for. And I think that this body, sitting in this room, has taken an awful lot of heat from the newspaper, from people that wrote opinion articles, including the congressman's comments this morning. I just wanted to set the record straight on the facts of how this came about. And that we followed the process. We acted as responsible elected officials on behalf of the citizens of Lynn. And we followed the process played out, and because of that, I'll be voting in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say one thing to Councilor Jacutis. She's put a lot of time in this too. I think there's no back there. I just want to have her recognized for it. She's been on this quite a bit. Met with the two guy and lady here about the issue here, and I think we've all kind of learned from this. I hope, in some ways, you have to meet people face to face to really understand who they are, including us. I mean, even as a council, I'm sure there's a lot of assumptions out there about us and individuals here. But once you start to know people and you get to understand where they're coming from, and they're just not a name and a title in a newspaper, or a hot button issue on Facebook. I don't think it's fair that a lot of people, on both sides of these issues aren't taking the time to get to know each other. And I think that's what's really missing here in the city. And I'm glad that, even though we have our differences on this council at times, I think at the end of the day, we all sit here and we try to do what's best for the people in the city. And I truly believe that about everybody here. And I just want to congratulate that you guys on what you've done. I think we ask young people to be involved in the city. And it's important that we're going to support them when they come forward. And I want to thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Any other councilors?
Yeah, one more thing I would like to just say, again, Damian Carlos, you kept fighting, you didn't stop. Public Properties Committee, thank you for bringing it to the whole council tonight, and we're going to get this done for the city of Lynn. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Staben.
I just want to say I'm sorry to Councilor Jacutis for leaving you out. It was remiss in leaving out her involvement. So, again, thank you.
Thank you. Before we do a vote, I do want to say a couple quick things. As Councilor Staben said, there was a lot of misinformation that was out there, and a lot of it was inaccurate. There were a lot of white knights showing up with their opinions. I'm trying to grandstand, using this as an opportunity to further whatever their agenda may have been. Councilor Hogan from the very beginning, Councilor Staben, as well as Councilor Jacutis, in my opinion, champions. But I think that Damani and Carlos, and I'm going to ask them to stand up right now. They're true champions. They've always for as long as I've known these two young people, they've showed up every time, whether it be at the food distribution, whether it be to clean up a park, whether it be a rally to lead a group of people down the commons. No matter what it is, I mean, these two are just amazing young people. And I too, as Rick Starbuck stated earlier, was opposed to the location, but the two of them relentless in every sense of the word. And I'm going to do something that I don't think any other council president has ever done before. Hopefully this is going to bring our community
I'm going to read the stipulations to the motion. Number one, insurance liability and special event insurance required with a $1 million bond, naming the city of Lynn as an additional insured. Number two, coordinate with the DPW, Lynn Police, and Lynn Fire regarding the mural installation to minimize the impact. Number three, sidewalk bond required. Number four, mural subject to all required permits. And number five, return in 180 days for an update. Council Barton? Yes. Yes. Council Jacutis? Yes. Yes. Council Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Council Field?
Yes.
Yes. Council Hogan?
100% yes.
Yes. Council LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Council Lozey? Council Lozey absent. Council Net? Yes. Council Starbird? Yes. Council Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. And Council Seer?
Yes. Congratulations.
We're not done. Items 2, 3, 4. Items 2, 3, and 4 were all addendums to the widening for the parking spaces at Lower Washington Street. They were approved by this body on the 13th. And I'd like to just take them all together. Unanimous vote of the committee, motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Do they have to be read? Do they have to be read again?
You read again?
No? Okay. Council Barton? Yes. Yes. Council Jacutis? Yes. Council Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Council Field?
Yes.
Yes. Council Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Council LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Council Lozey? Absent. Council Net? Yes. Council Starbird?
Yes.
Yes. Council Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. Council Seer?
Yes.
Okay. And I think we saved you a couple of vocal cords there, Madam Clerk, on not having to reread all of that. Item number 5 was a discussion for informational purposes regarding a proposed RFP on the former Thurgood Marshall Middle School. Was a unanimous vote of the committee to accept for the records. Motion approved.
Second. Motion made, seconded, discussion. Roll call.
Council Barton? Yes. Council Jacutis? Yes. Council Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Council Field?
Yes.
Yes. Council Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Council LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Council Lozey? Absent. Council Net? Yes. Council Starbird?
Yes.
Yes. Council Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. Council Seer?
Yes.
Item number 6 was proposed RFP on the Lynn Senior Center, again for informational purposes and for folks to absorb, and we will vote on at our next meeting. Unanimous vote of the committee to accept for the records. Motion approved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. Roll call.
Council Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis. Yes, Counsel Calucci.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Lozey. Absent Counsel Net. Yes, Counsel Staben.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Seer.
Yes.
And under new business, motion made by Councilor Calucci to place 8 Pinkham Place out to bid to abutters only for parking and landscaping. Unanimous vote of the committee. Motion approved.
Second. Motion made, seconded, discussion, roll call.
Counsel Barton. Yes, Counsel Chakutis. Yes, Counsel Calucci.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Lozey. Absent Counsel Net. Yes, Counsel Staben. Yes, Counsel Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Seer.
Yes. That's it, Counselor Staben. Trash, Lynn Trash, Litter, and Subcommittee. Counselor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. My co-chair, Councilor Chakutis, and I would be at a presentation with presentation for signage around the city about keeping Lynn clean. And we had a presentation by our CFO, Mr. Bertino, as far as a pilot program, purchase of a motorized small to mid-sized vacuum to support the areas that the already street sweeping and other maintenance to assist that. There was no vote taken by the committee. Thank you.
Motion made to accept.
Motion made to accept.
Motion made to accept. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Ways and Means, Counselor Net.
Licensing. Licensing.
Mr. President, all financial transfer were voted unanimously by the subcommittee. I make a motion to approve. Thank you.
Motion made to accept. Seconded. I'm going to ask the clerk to read the transfers.
Transfer $1,348.20 from the council expense to the account of prior year bills to fund invoices received after the close of the fiscal year. Certifies an available fund $18,745,330 to the school department for the FY21 FC 115 ESSER 2 Lynn grant. Certifies an available fund $1,495,100 to the city of Lynn by Transportation Bond Bill Chapter 90 for FY22. Certifies an available fund $225,362 to the Lynn Health Division for COVID-19 vaccination support in priority communities. Certifies an available fund $25,995 to the fire department for the FY21 firefighter safety equipment grant. Certifies an available fund $70,644 for the FY21 FC 181 Gateway City School Year grant.
Motion's been made, seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton? Yes, Counsel Chakutis. Yes, Counsel Calucci.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Lozey. Absent Counsel Net. Yes, Counsel Staben. Yes, Counsel Walsh. Yes, Counsel Seer.
Yes. Was there an emergency, Counselor?
Yes, Mr. President, it was the emergency vote by committee. I make a motion to approve. Thank you.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton. Yes, Counsel Chakutis. Yes, Counsel Calucci.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Lozey. Absent Counsel Net. Yes, Counsel Staben. Yes, Counsel Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Seer.
Yes.
We have orders that laid over from last meeting that just need one vote from the council.
What was the order? You said there was an order laid over?
A list of them, I'm going to read them. Just have to
Before we do that, that's under old business. For Ways and Means? Okay, all right.
Okay. Yep. $200,000 from the account of free cash of the DPW, $124,000 from free cash of the police department, $75,000 from reserve to the planning department payroll, $70,000 from reserve to the account of awards and judgments per the law department, $60,000 from the police department payroll to fund tuition expense, $30,000 from the account of police payroll to fund additional medical bills, $6,000 from the reserve to police department to fund the teleforum regarding the body camera roundtable discussion, $20,000 from the Council on Aging expense to their payroll account to fund the executive director's salary, certify as available funds, $320,000 to community development, $21,400 to the health department for the No Kid Hungry grant, $39,600 to the fire department by the Mass Emergency Management Agency, $7,500 to the Lynn Cultural Council, $7,940 to the school department for the Gleam grant, $159,658 to the school department for the FY21 FC 186 Title 3A grant. And we have ordered that Dr. Patrick Tutwiler, PhD, is hereby authorized to execute a memorandum of understanding, Every Student Succeeds Act Transportation, claiming under Title 4E of the Social Security Act, and all other associated required documentation for purposes to obtain reimbursement for transportation costs for children eligible under the Title 4E foster care to and from foster placement in their school of origin. And the last one is ordered that His Honor the Mayor is hereby authorized to execute a 5-year contract and all other necessary documents with Safe Built LLC to undertake inspections of all residential units within the City of Lynn as required by an ordinance requiring all rental units in the City of Lynn to be inspected to ensure compliance with the state building and sanitary codes at a minimum of every 5 years. That's it.
That's it. We need a roll call.
We need a roll call.
So has there been a motion?
We need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Motion's been made, seconded, discussion, roll call.
Counsel Barton? Yes. Counsel Chakutis? Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey? Absent. Counsel Net? Yes. Counsel Stabbed? Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes.
Licensing, Counselor Fail.
Thank you, Mr.
But I
President.
forgot you, huh?
That's okay, people need their flammables and signs and auto body work. We have a unanimous vote by the committee, motion to approve.
Motion made to approve,
Second.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Old business. Before we go into new business, I just want to say that I did, and I know some of the other councilors also received a copy of the housing plan. I'm going to ask that copies be sent to the law department, ISD, to the planner, school committee, superintendent, EDIC, the police, fire, Lynn Water and Sewer, the assessor's office, for all of them to take a look at it, especially the law department, see what's legal, what's not legal, see what kind of impact it's going to have. There are some things in there that have 30-year implications. So before we bring it out to the council, I just want to make sure that we look at and explore everything in there. So that's not even a motion, I'm just asking them, I'm sending it out to them. New business.
I got some new business.
We have an order. Let me read my order first.
Would you read the order?
I'm sorry.
We have ordered that His Honor the Mayor is hereby authorized to execute an extension to the memorandum of understanding between the City of Lynn and the Lynn Housing Authority to authorize the Lynn Housing Authority to administer certain housing and community development programs as a grant subrecipient on behalf of the City of Lynn for a period of 10 years through June 30th, 2030.
Wish of the council.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton? Yes. Counsel Chakutis? Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field? Absent. No. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey? Absent. Counsel Net? Yes. Counsel Stabbed? Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes, I also want to go back to when I request from all these departments for them to send me a written, or the council, a written report with their recommendations as to how we should proceed with that. Any other business? Councilor
Just real
Walsh.
quick, is there a timetable for that, like for them to report back to the council on?
I mean, it took them a year and a half to put it together, so you want to explore every bit of it and make sure that there's, everything in it is legal, that what impact it's going to have, especially in the school department. You start creating more affordable housing units in the city that are going to bring more kids into a school system that's already overly populated. So if there's a way to come up with a plan, take care of that, I just want to know what the impact, and I think some of the other councilors want to know that as well.
I agree, just don't want it to go on for another year. We should have some answers within, a month or so, 2 months. I mean, is it reasonable to
Right.
assume that?
I think 60 days is,
Yeah, I'm not going to hold it.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
That's
we're
fine.
not, Okay.
because there's other stuff going on, so if
Yep.
they could all return back their written reports within a 60-day time period, satisfactory?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, things get lost in the shuffle. I
Okay.
want to make sure we have some sort of a timetable.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other business? Still wish of the council?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
for us is that somebody, files an appeal and says it wasn't properly done, and that could throw a monkey wrench.
Amended order of conditions, I guess, right?
A request for an amended order of conditions.
Conditions.
And I think you pretty well covered that in your letter. The only thing now is putting it off till next month, so it might be a good idea to send out the letter so that 21 days, you're within the 21 days for us taking action, and that you notify the abutters
Okay.
and
get it
advertise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can work that with Jamie. That's not a problem. All right, excellent. Oh, I wasn't sure myself on it.
Obviously, I think we were wrong in the past, so I wasn't ready.
I don't know, Michael. I think because I was going to file an amended total order conditions, everything, a total new filing, but call it amended, because I had done that back when we did lots 1 and 2 for the infiltration system. But that's right.
Maybe that's what it was. It was you filed an order of conditions and it wasn't an amended. So I think you might be right that we didn't vote on.
No, at that one there, I had filed a complete order of conditions for the amendment.
Yeah, so that it wasn't the same in the past. Yeah.
Right, but I don't have a problem with this, guys. I'll get this stuff done, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'll try to put it out to the abutters, and then I'll sit down with Jamie and get the advertising set up and everything.
Sounds good.
Do I have to?
Okay.
Should I send it to DEP also, or just no?
I think and again, if you can look up the well, I think the only thing that needs to be sent to DEP, if I have it correctly, is after we have the vote and we amend the order of conditions, then a copy of that has to be sent to DEP. That's
what
the way I read
also.
it anyhow.
Okay, excellent.
Sounds good.
Nobody else has, Nelson, you're happy?
I'm very happy.
Okay, that's all I care about. You know that.
He's happy. He's happy because the Red Sox are winning. That's why he's happy. Me too.
It's a good reason. Try to get back to normal.
I'm also vaccinated, so.
Oh, me too, Nelson. That's another reason to be happy. That's right.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, Chuck. All right,
Stay safe.
take care.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, you
Bye-bye.
too. Yep, bye.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Bye.
But anyway, okay, does anybody have anything else? I don't want to keep Mary on her vacation.
I have some questions, but they can wait till the next meeting, mainly concerning Bel Air, and I don't even know if we're supposed to talk about it or not, so we can wait till the next meeting and see where we are then. That's an online thing on the 28th, I think, right?
What is it?
I think we're supposed to have like an online session with the hearing officer on the 28th, and I don't know exactly who's going to participate and what role we're going to have or anything else, but we're supposed to defend our position, I believe. And I don't know what Mr. Lamanna, Attorney Lamanna, I should say, Attorney Lamanna has to say.
Yeah, I'm going to follow up with him because I hope he's going to be representing us.
Yeah,
He's been in the email.
I don't know whether I should even say this over the thing and whether we're on the minutes and that, but that this whole thing about adjudicatory hearings is, if you look at the banner on all of the material we're receiving, this is being reviewed by DEP, no matter what you say, and they historically don't like challenging decisions by their same organization, and it never made sense to me that the DEP is the board that gets the final review after a decision's been made by DEP. And you can see that there's like 5 copies going out to different people in different DEP positions. And you can bet that they're going to try and support DEP's position in this. It's not, to me, it's not exactly a fair hearing, but I don't even know if I should say that, but at this point, I don't care.
So that's on the 28th. So why don't I ask him tomorrow what the format is?
Yeah, and if we have any say in whether he would like us to comment or provide any support, I think if I understand the adjudicatory process, that what we really need to start doing is getting support for our positions. Like they've already ruled on the mootness of the ruling under the bylaw. And again, I don't know how Attorney Lamanna feels about that or how anyone else feels about that, but I question, okay, they've ruled on that, but the court still hasn't ruled, in the area for an appeal of a bylaw decision is the courts. It's not DEP. And I don't know what that means. If they're saying that it's the decision under the bylaw doesn't stand because of the problem with the form.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamie, I don't know whether you can add anything to this or not, but I still have a hard time understanding how his copy had that page in it. And I am quite sure that our copy, and I don't believe we've heard from DEP, but I'd be willing to bet that DEP's copy didn't have anything. And
I think you're right, because I think that when I prepared that was one of the first ones that I was doing, and you came in here and went through it to make sure that I had handwritten in what I needed to handwrite on the top.
You're right, and I should have, and we all probably should have noticed that page was missing, but we didn't, and that is truly a clerical error. But if that page had been there and it was wrong, I am like 100% positive that I would have said, wait a minute, that's wrong. But it wasn't there, so we didn't catch it. And I understand that.
I think that you told me it was wrong, and I pulled it out to fix it and never put it back. That's what I honestly...
That could be, but I I don't remember that, but that's not surprising. But I think it's possible either way. But I know that the copy that we sent him, I believe, didn't have that page in it. And that's kind of my question right along, that how did he end up making that thing up and saying that it was, but that's, well, we'll see where it goes from here. It's going to be interesting.
Well,
I don't know how anyone else feels.
Why didn't he say it early on?
That's the whole thing, right? And this is another thing that I don't believe DEP should have ruled the way they ruled, because we did make a decision and we listed all of the things, you know, that he applied and paid for the local bylaw fee. We made the ruling very clear that it was under the bylaw and under the Wetlands Protection Act. And we actually voted at the meeting and mentioned the local bylaw. So I don't see it, but it just, to me, that's another thing that just raises the point that DEP is reviewing decisions made by DEP, and it's not the way it should be. If anything, they should eliminate the whole superseding order and the adjudicatory hearing and just go to the courts. Combine the bylaw and the thing. That would save the applicant and the Conservation Commissions a lot of work. Why have a double process? You know, have one process. It goes to the court.
Right.
I don't know how anybody else feels, but Jamie, if you get any information from Attorney Lamont, and, you know, let us know and we'll see what we can do to help.
Oh, I'm going to call him
forward
first
on the
thing in the
28th.
morning, and I'll get a list and his suggestions and whatever we need.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Oh, wait. We need a motion to adjourn.
We need a motion, right? Yep.
Make a motion.
Second.
There you go.
All in favor?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Everybody stay safe and have a good month. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
You're watching Lynn Community Television, Lynn's public and government access station.
Okay. We're starting our Lynn Traffic Commission meeting. We're going to start with the roll call, and it looks like Dave is here, I'm here, 3, Jim is here, waiting for name 2000, and Chris is here. So we have a full quorum. Everybody is here, all 5 members. At this time, approval of minutes. Chris, good to see you. Do I have a motion for approval of minutes?
I approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. Andy?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion passes unanimous. Public hearings. I guess we'd have to do them separately. 996 on Brookline Street to rescind the one-way during school times from, Andy, would we actually do that as one combined thing? Because we're not actually rescinding it, we're just changing it during school hours, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do the two together.
I think the most streamlined thing to do is to leave it to the discretion of the principal of the various schools. This is just a temporary thing. And already the Brookline Street, we've changed the signs twice now, and I still don't think they're correct.
All right, I'm gonna take the two at the same, so 996 and 997 for Brookline Street. Anybody wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Hearing none, I close the public hearing in favor. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to Brookline Street, the one-way zone, pending and changing? Anybody wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I close the public hearing in opposition. So I think what we're looking for is a motion, not to rescind, but just to change the hours during this temporary thing. And have it, the schools can either get a hold of myself or Andy, and we will make the changes. So do I have a motion?
Don't move.
Your motion?
That's my
Is
motion.
there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I call the question. Andy?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Again, it passes unanimous. And, Husk Court. Basically, there's some signage up there somewhere along the line. The ordinance didn't get passed, so we're just looking to correct what is up there for signs. So at this time, I'm going to do a public hearing for Husk Court to establish resident parking only. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the resident parking on Husk Court? Hearing none, I close the public hearing in favor. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I close the public hearing in opposition, and I close the public hearing. What is the wish of the board? I think it's a good thing to do. We need to get the signs back up.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion made, second. Motion made by Andy, seconded by Chris. Andy?
Yes.
Any discussion on the motion? None? Andy?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And Jim?
Yes.
And myself is yes. Motion passes unanimous. Number D, Cliff Street. Establish no parking on Cliff Street, the side of 149 Walnut Street, up and including 13 Cliff. So from the beginning of the driveway up to 13 Cliff is what we're going to be doing. Anybody wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Hearing none, I close the public hearing in favor. I open it to anybody in opposition. Anybody wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I close the public hearing in opposition, and I close the public hearing. I did talk to a couple of the abutters. I talked to Mr. Chalmers today. I did talk to Mr. Ferrari. I talked to a couple of ladies on the street and told them we were meeting today. Nobody seemed concerned. At the meeting that we had, the neighborhood meeting that I posted, the general consensus was down there is a bottleneck and they'd like to make a no parking. So do we have a motion? We have a motion?
I'll motion for that.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Andy?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Again, that's unanimous. 1000 Washington Street is under new business. What we're doing is we're establishing unrestricted parking spaces on the odd side of Washington Street prior to 780 Washington Street. This is part of that massive change down there. We're doing a lot of money. We're getting a lot of grants and stuff. The college is giving up some land, going to make angle parking. But in order for the college to give up the land, I believe the agreement is that they want some non-restricted spots down there. So I'd like to get a motion, if we could, to set it down for a public hearing for our April meeting.
I'd like to make that motion. I also add an emergency preamble. So this is somewhat critical to the whole project down there. It's something that the college needs in order to grant the city the easement. And without the easement, there's no project, basically. They're turning the parallel parking on the village side of Washington Street into angled parking. And they're creating, I think it's like 90 spots down there. And work is supposed to begin a week from yesterday, the 12th of April. So it's somewhat time sensitive. This is going in front of the city council Tuesday, I believe, the granting of this easement. So I would like to set it down for a public hearing with an emergency preamble.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Motion seconded by Chris. Any discussion on the motion? Andy, just one question. I'm going to check with the law department and the rest of the members. This may be something where we might have to have our meeting Tuesday in order to expedite it. So we might have to have a third extra meeting. I'm going to see if the emergency will do it with the law department. If not, call Jim Lamanna. If not, we may have to actually have an extra meeting.
Okay, whatever we need to do.
Yep.
So whatever.
Again,
I'll whatever I need to do. I don't want to volunteer the rest of the group, but.
Yep. And then the other thing is there are some other parking spots there. Those other parking spots are actually going to be 2-hour parking spots, and the college and the city has no problem with that, and I don't believe there's opposition to the rest of them being restricted somehow. But the 40 so spots would be restricted. Yeah, Mr. Lamanna didn't answer, so I was going to get him for a legal opinion. I'm going to call the question if there's no more discussion. Andy?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And Jim?
Yes.
And myself is yes. So that will be going to our next meeting, whenever it may be, with the emergency preamble. Hopefully the emergency preamble. The only other discussion I would have, if we are going to have a meeting again next week, because we have to do this, I think we should just do our April meeting, do everything at that time. Rather than have one next week and then the week afterwards. So is everybody fine with that, Cheryl? Instead of having 2 meetings, if we have to have an emergency, let's just do one and not have another one in April.
I'm fine with that. I'll just have to check to make sure that the park is not having a meeting at the same time we are. Otherwise, we bounce each other off.
So otherwise, we may just have to change the time.
Yeah, but I'll let everybody know.
All right. Hopefully, Mr. Lamanna will let me know and I can move on with that.
Cheryl, what's the issue with that? The go-to license?
Yeah, the go-to meeting license is only one, and it's under Lisa's email. So if we can't schedule meetings at the same time, we bump each other out of it.
Okay, are there others at the city available? Like, I imagine someone has one we could use, right?
I think the mayor's office has one, and we could always use a Zoom platform. I think they have it as Zoom too.
And I believe ISD has one because I'm actually on a Zoom meeting. I mean, a go-to-meeting with them at 6:30. So
if there's some kind of conflict, let me know, and I'll try to. I imagine
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it
out. So number B, 101-1001 10 East Side Road, establishing no parking loading zone at alleyway. I guess there's an alleyway there between 2 buildings, and it's causing
havoc.
It's technically the dumpster gets emptied, I think, 3 times a week, so it's probably crazy to make it certain days. And then again, if there's a snowstorm, they could be picking up the next day. So, what is the wish of the board?
make a motion that we set down a no parking spot in front of the alleyway Set that down for a public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Seconded by Jim. Any discussion on the motion? Andy?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And myself, yes, that motion passes. Dave, you wanted the floor?
What's that?
You wanted the floor?
Yes, I have a couple of things that we're gonna need to go over. It's similar to Brookline. We were up at Shoemaker today. They have some issues with, they had some traffic issues because they get the bus problem. But they brought to my attention, they're having the same problem with the signs needing to be changed. So I spoke with Orrin Wright, and I got the new times for Druids, Harrington, and Sisson. Their new dismissal time is 12:45, so we need to change those signs to at least 12:30. And then Connery, Hood, Sewell, Anderson, Tracy, and Shoemaker, they have a 1:15 dismissal, so we're gonna need to change those to like 1 o'clock.
So Dave, not to interrupt you, but Andy, what I'm almost thinking is, why don't we make a motion that during this crisis, that you or myself can change the hours of the signs temporarily to meet the needs of the COVID problem with the different school times. And we'll do a blanket for all schools, and we'll set it down for a public hearing at our next meeting. That should solve, because all of a sudden another school is going to call up and have the same problem.
Yeah, I'd leave it up to Sergeant Hunter. Is that okay?
That's fine with me. You know, we just need a little time when we make the times before dismissal. We don't want the time to be right at dismissal. I spoke to the school resource officer at Marshall, and he would like 15 minutes. So I'm figuring if we do 15 minutes ahead of everything, that's enough time for them to make sure the street's clear before the kids start coming up.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
what I'm
only
looking
issue
is proposing.
My issue with changing the signs is we've been changing them. I'd like to just change them once. So if we can make sure we get the numbers correct, verify it with the school or whatever you have to do. I have no problem changing the signs, but you know, it's frustrating when we change them more than once.
Yep. And again, I think if we do all the schools and it's a blanket thing where Andy and me can make that decision as chairman and the head of the DPW, if we vote that next thing, so can I have somebody want to make that motion? Dave?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Blanket all schools. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Yes.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Andy?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Can I say something?
Darrell?
Can I request that Sergeant Hunter communicates with me directly on the hours, because I actually have to type up the ordinance for George, and so that he has it for the sign guy. When everybody else gets involved, it gets very confusing. So I'm still recording the ordinance, so it has to be through me that the time frame goes. So if you kindly just respond, communicate with me so I know.
All right, I'll come down tomorrow. I'll come down tomorrow.
Let me just finish the vote. Jim?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion passed unanimous. Again, signage, we are having a problem with signage. The signs went up on Cliff Street, and basically we never voted them through. So somehow the DPW put them up. It was not Andy, somebody down there put them up. But any correspondence on signs should go through Cheryl and Andy or myself. We should not be talking to anybody else at the DPW other than Cheryl and Andy or myself on signs. Because the problem is, it's happened on quite a few locations that we're putting up signs and then the DPW is going to go back and take them down because we're jumping the gun on signs. So no sign should be put up. Nobody should talk to anybody at the DPW other than Andy and Cheryl. Is that fine, Andy?
Yeah, that works.
All right. Other than that, is there anything else for this great board?
No, one motion to dismiss.
Motion to adjourn has been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, non-debatable. All in favor? All right.
Aye.
Thank you. A pleasure. And I'll let you know what's happening. Or Cheryl, actually, our great secretary, will let us know what's happening if we have to have a special meeting
Next week
for
or the
the
week after.
project. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
Thank you.
Every year, the City of Lynn sends out their annual street listing, aka the City Census, to Lynn residents. The City of Lynn uses the census primarily to know where residents live and where they are registered to vote. This is not the same as the United States Census, which is sent out once every 10 years. It is important for all Lynn residents to complete this form, especially if you vote. If voters do not answer the City Census, they are put on an inactive list. If voters do not vote in 2 state elections, they are then taken off the voter list. Lynn residents can drop their completed forms at the fire stations located at 424 Broadway, 725 Western Ave, 101 Fayette Street, and 679 Boston Street. Residents can also drop it in the mailbox outside City Hall on Johnson Street, or mail it directly to the election office. For more information or to confirm no changes, you can call 781-586-6805.
Hello, this is Wendy Joseph. We are preparing for the virtual Frederick Douglass reading for 2021, hopefully for the last time. In 2020, we had a great time recording Lynn residents reading their paragraphs all over town. We learned a lot during the past year, and one of those things was getting used to seeing yourself through your computer video. We invite you to participate again this year, but this year, we are gathering videos from you. Head to lctv.org to learn more about participating in this year's reading, then follow the link to sign up. I look forward to seeing what the people of Lynn will create, all of us together.
If you would like to participate in this year's virtual speech reading, please visit bit.ly/20